That's your account that you deposit money all the time. Do you know the actual amount of lot size that you're supposed to trade for any time you deposit money in that account? Okay, now this is a very big aspect of forex trading that many people don't usually talk about. Okay, you see many people depositing money all the time in their account, but they don't know the actual amount of lot size to use for that particular account in order not to blow the account. So I'm going to teach you a breakdown of how to calculate your lot size and to know the actual amount of lot size you can use for any amount you deposit in your account, and also to know the actual number of pips that you have to set for your stop loss and take profit anytime you want to trade. So I want you to stick to the end of this video. You are definitely going to learn something new. And also, if this is your first time of seeing my channel, please like and subscribe to this channel so that you will see more of this kind of videos. Without wasting more time, let's get into it and I will show you how it is. Here is a breakdown of how you can calculate your lot size. It takes only about few steps and everything will be done. First one is the formula. The formula states that lot size equals risk amount divided by stop loss in pips multiplied by pip value. Then the first thing you need to do is to decide your risk per trade. You must know the amount you want to risk per each trade. Normally, in forex trading, it is always advisable to risk about 1 to 2% of your account per trade. But you can do more than that if you want. But let me tell you a clear reason why you need to stick to this. Let's say, for example, you want to risk about 2% of your account per each trade, and you open 5 positions at a time. If that trade goes against you, you are only going to lose about 10% of your account, which means you still have enough money to trade next time. But if you decide to risk like 10% at a time, if you open 5 positions and the trade goes against you, you are going to lose half of your account. That is 50%. And this is not advisable for a trader. So I suggest that you stick to this particular percent, even no matter any amount you have in your account, unless you don't want to open a lot of positions at a time, then you can increase that. Let's say, for example, you have $1,000 in your account and you want to risk 2% of it. Your risk amount will be equal $20. This works for every amount you may have in your account. $500, $200, $50, $10,000, it doesn't matter. The only thing you have to do is to know the risk percentage you want to take. If it's 2%, if it is 3%, if it is 1%. But as I already advised you, you should go with 1% or 2%. Just take the percentage calculation of that amount you have in your account and it will give you your risk amount. Then after that, the next thing is to determine a stop loss in pips. The formula is very simple. Stop loss in pips equals the entering price minus the stop loss. So how do you find this? I'm going to use this particular chart that I have here to show you a simple demonstration of how to do that. It is the same thing in your real account. Now from this chart, this is GBP USD chart, and looking at this chart, the market is currently trading at this particular position 1.35703. This is your entering price, and I want to go for a bullish, that is for buying. Okay, I want to enter a buying position here, which means I'll be taking my profit at this particular point and I'll be putting my stop loss at this particular point. So I want to put my stop loss at 1.35325. Now let me do the calculation with that formula and you see what happens. So all I need to do is to put my entering price here and minus the stop loss position from it, and my stop loss in pips will be 38 pips. Moving forward, the next thing is to determine the pip value. And looking at this thing that I'm showing you here, in forex trading, for most USD pairs, one standard lot equals $10 per pip, 0.1 lot equals $1 per pip, and 0.01 lot equals 10 cents per pip. If you look at this, pips are measured in 2 decimal places, which means that pip value equals 10. Then, to calculate your lot size, if you remember the formula I showed you at the beginning, lot size equals risk amount divided by stop loss in pips multiplied by pip value. Now we have determined the pip value to be 10. So 20, as we confirmed from above, because we are having an account of $1,000 and 2% of it is 20, that is our risk amount, divided by our stop loss in pips, as we calculated just now, 38, multiplied by this pip value. This gives us 0.05. So our final lot size that you can use for that our account of $1,000 should be 0.05 lots, which implies that for every pip movement of any trade that we take, we are risking 0.5, that is 0.50, which implies 50 cents. We are risking 50 cents for every pip movement. Now, in some cases, you already know the lot size you want to take. Most of us usually go with 0.01 lot size, 0.02 lot size. So you already know the lot size you want to take, and you already know where you want to set your stop loss. But the problem is that you don't know how much you want to risk. In this kind of situation, this is a simple formula that you can use to determine your risk. Alright, so this is how you do it. Risk equals lot size multiplied by stop loss multiplied by pip value. Very simple. Let's say our lot size is 0.05. You already know that this is the lot size you want to use, and stop loss is 38 pips. Now, to determine your risk, you just apply this formula. Very easy. Multiply the lot size by the pip, and pip value we have already determined from above that it is always 10. So when you do this calculation, it shows you that you are risking $20 for each trade that you take. So this is a very simple way to calculate your risk when you already know the lot size and where you want to set your stop loss. Finally, after doing your calculation, after doing everything, the next thing is to determine where to set your take profit. This is the easiest part. Once you have already determined where to set your stop loss and the lot size you want to take, then you consider what kind of a risk ratio you want to take. Are you trying to risk 1 to get 2, or are you trying to risk 1 to get 3, 4, and so on? Then after that, just multiply the stop loss, the amount you want to risk, by the ratio. For example, from above, we want to risk $20. So if I'm taking this particular 1:2, I just need to multiply that risk amount by 2. That is the profit I'm going to get. If you want to take 1:3, you multiply it by 3. That is the profit you are going to get, and then you just set your take profit at that particular position. So very simple. When you start applying these formulas, it will become very easy for you. You don't need to do all this calculation once you have understood it. So I want you to take your time, practice with this, and try to get familiar with it. It will help you a lot to reduce risking a lot and blowing your account. So if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Remember not to blow that account. See you.